Welcome to another episode of 507 Garage. In this episode, I'm just gonna go over the DriftHQ E9x and E8x, 2JZ, I would say also 1JZ engine bracket mount for those two BMW engines. So if you're familiar with the BMW 335, pretty much any of the E90, so E90, E91, E92, E93s, as well as the 1 Series, which are your E81s and E82s, I think that's correct, E80 maybe. But anyways, they normally designate them as E9X and E8X. Now, I had purchased the engine mount bracket just so I could use like a 335i transmission along with an adapter for it. And using they have two versions. DriftHQ has two versions. They have one version that allows you to keep the stock drive shaft, as well as use like an adapter plate in this case, like Adamat Performance, or they carry another brand. So it's also another Poland brand manufacturer. I'll put it on the section below so you can kind of see. But if you go to DriftHQ, you'll find these products there. Anyways, before my hands gets too tired, I'll show you what I did. Here you can see this E92 is pretty torn apart. I got it from Billy K. He runs Dirty Minded. If you've ever attended any of the shows, I think he's located out in Illinois. So he tends to do a lot of cool shows. He has his own little booth and does a great representation on the car scene down in or up in Illinois. But anyways, I got this BMW 335i from him, automatic. And I took out the engine. There's a video. I'll put it like right over here somewhere. But I have a video in which I take the N54 that came with this car out since he was going to take it to give it to his brother, or his brother was going to use it for another project. I think it's another BMW. And then in that, I ended up with no engine in this engine bay. So this car is pretty torn apart. I think it came with a hood, it had the fenders. The fenders were damaged, so I just took them off. They're sitting on the shelf back there. I just have a mess here since I have to put a new trampoline together. That's my motor and a bunch of other stuff. This is my neighbor's engine hoist. But anyways, the fenders came off. I think Billy had parted out the car to a certain degree. So I just have some of these initial parts here. Most likely might try to get a lot of this fabricated into like tubing or a tube front, who knows. But the goal is to drive this thing on the street, so have a 2JZ powered E92. But anyways, I have a video, I'll post it over here, of me installing or at least mounting these DriftHQ engine brackets onto this 2J. This 2J came out of this car, came out of this GS. And I put it here just for mock-up purposes. But anyways, just to get to the point, you can see how the DriftHQ engine mounts allows you to get the proper positioning. This is the OEM BMW N54 engine mount. You can get aftermarket ones, but I'm just using the stock ones just for now. And if you look, let's see if I can get the proper, there it is. See if I can get the proper focus here. If you look down there, right over there, that's where the other engine mount is. And you can see the hole for it just kind of goes through, so you can tell that it's lined up. But DriftHQ does a really nice job in positioning these. And this engine mount in particular, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll most likely look at their site and add the name of what this version is. I think this is version number 1, which allows the engine to sit forward, more forward. So if you were to put like a radiator or whatever, you can still, you have plenty of room here. If you look below the engine, my engine is touching that piece here of that aluminum frame here, but it's only because the engine, if I hold this engine here and I push it back, it's because it needs to sit back more. Only because I don't have any of the bolts that go here to basically secure the engine to the car. But if I did, you would have more of a gap under here, more of a clearance. But if I push the engine, let me see if I can do it. You see, if I push it, there is a little more room there. You can kind of see it more. I don't know how I can kind of show you, but you can see there should be a little more gap in there. but because it's not bolted into the engine, it just sits a little forward. But once you have it bolted and you have a transmission in the back, it's going to push the engine back a little bit. So it's going to give you a little more of that clearance in the bottom. But anyways, I like the fitment of it. DriftHQ did a great job. If you buy their other version, the engine sits further back. So if you look at the position of this version 1, which is what I'm going to call it until I go online and actually see what they actually call it on their site, you can see all the clearance that's behind here. So imagine a adapter plate right here, which takes up about, let's see, if you had an engine or transmission bracket, you're gonna have about maybe an inch of the adapter plate, and then after that is the transmission. In this case, like a BMW 335i, 135i transmission, will just sit in the back here. And then once you connect that, it would move back into your drive shaft, and you can still use your OEM drive shaft per what the ad says. You can use the OEM ones. There still needs to be a couple little tweaks that you need to do here and there. It comes with a little adapter piece. Again, if you look at the video in which I unbox and install that bracket, engine mount bracket on this 2J, you can see the pieces that come with it. You have to add a adapter to one of the sides of the transmission mount just to properly align it. But I just wanted to show you in the garage. It's nighttime right now, just how it sits. It sits pretty nice and level. I mean, it's not fully level since it's not bolted down, but it still looks pretty decently good if you look at it in the position of it. And if I had a hood, you will be able to tell that the hood is going to close. The goal with this BMW is to basically make it an M3 clone as much as I can. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the rear fenders to make them wider yet, if I'm going to go over fenders or not. I would like to keep it clean. So we'll see what I do there. If I do some type of like metal over fender, or just kind of do a pull of the fender just to fit a bigger tire maybe in the back, we'll know soon enough. But yeah, so just wanted to share this. I'll have a quick video, what do you call it when you speed up the video? A install video of me putting the engine into this car. I forget what, time lapse. There you go. Sorry, can't think. It's like almost 1 a.m. here in Minnesota. But I'll do a time lapse on this video showing how I installed it, and then you can kind of see the finished product as you see here for now. And then eventually these things are going to come out. I'm going to be putting a front-facing intake manifold. I can easily buy an adapter since I have a GTE one. So if I buy the adapter for the GTE, I can put it in here and take advantage of that. So that's probably going to be part 2 of this video, or not part 2 of this video, but part 4, which would be me taking the intake manifold, this intake manifold here, and putting a GTE intake manifold on this, and then being able to repurpose it. So let me show you the intake manifold that I have. It came out of my 2J GTE that is on the Time Attack Lexus. So give me a moment here to go get that. So here's the intake manifold that came out of my 2J GTE VVTi. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. But this is a front-facing intake manifold. Comes with a throttle body on it, and everything is attached. So it will need to just be cleaned up, and I can then repurpose it on this 2J GE. The other options I have, I can purchase a front-facing GE intake manifold from like Hypertune to kind of mimic Lexus Time Attack, or get a different brand like Elgato Performance or one of those other ones if I want to spice up the engine bay, or I can run this. However, I could just use this. I have several 2Js right now, so I could easily use this on a really simple setup. There's a couple things I'm going to be doing soon, so I could easily repurpose this for another build. anyways, I will share the video, the time lapse video of me installing that engine into the BMW. Thank you, DriftHQ, for making a great product. I mean, you could tell those engine mounts are really nice and sturdy, really nice and thick. The metal that they use is really good. And I like the wrinkle paint that it has as a finish. It really makes it a really clean, high quality product. So if you haven't bought one, get yourself one. They're really ideal for those two chassis, especially since I couldn't find anything when I was looking. So DriftHQ happened to make the product right as I was running desperate, searching online, pretty much searching all over the world. I found a couple other companies, but like, I think one of them was like out in Japan, and they were just making one and leveling it, but they weren't selling it, or it wasn't ready for production. And then DriftHQ made one right in time, and I bought it. I think it was like during a holiday. I think it was either Christmas or something. I think they made it just recently, last December, when they made the product and I made the video. So again, you'll see the video here. You see all the videos I mentioned in regards of when I received the product, unboxing it, and I just only got part of it. I still would need to get, I think, additional pieces depending on what I decide to do. I think they have a different oil pan if you want to get a different oil pan. But again, just check their product out. I'll put a link on the video just so you can go to that specific page, and I'll point out both the version, this one, and I think they already came out with the second version. So I'll point both of them out. So anyways, here's the here's a time lapse video of me installing it. Thank you for watching this episode. I'm sweating, it's hot here, so excuse that, I guess. But thanks for watching another episode. I'll try to get these coming every week, at least, if I am able to make more progress on different builds that I have, especially like the all-wheel drive Lexus GS wagon. I'll try to put those out as fast as I can. So, but thank you again. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay tuned and be notified as soon as we have a new video out. Thank you. Peace out.